Hello guys, let me to introduce myself. My name is Santi. Now I want to present my paper. The title of my paper is Development of Mathematics Learning Devices Matrix Material in Second Grade Senior High School. We know the education is basically a means that can help our humans to develop their potential. In the implementation of education, there are three important variables that are interrelated with each other. Namely, the first is curriculum. The curriculum is a set of plans and educational program arrangement that contain learning designs provided to students in an effort to achieve educational goals. The second is teacher. The teacher holds central role, not only delivering the subject matter, but also educating, serving, and guiding students as learners, so that the teachers must be able to choose, master, and determine the appropriate methods, strategy, and learning media in learning, so then the students can achieve maximum of learning outcomes. The third is learning process. Teaching is a process of delivering knowledge and contains broader and complex meanings, one of which in good communication and interaction between students and teachers. Republic of Indonesia Government Regulation Number 19 says that learning activities must be carried out by teachers by developing learning tools to be used, so that learning runs more optimally. But in reality, the learning tools used by the teacher when the teaching and learning process take place have not helped students in building their own knowledge. The teaching material used were still focused on central teaching materials. Learning activities also still make students the object of learning, and sets of students' activity that used in the form of a collection of questions that do not facilitate students in finding concept. So that therefore, the title of this research is Development of Mathematics Learning Devices Matrix Material in Second Grade Senior High School. This method refers to the Estagarajan, Dorothy S. Samuel, and Melvin Samuel models. First, defining phase aims to define and defines learning needs. Activities undertaken are initial and analysis, student analysis, material analysis, task analysis, and the formulation or specification of learning objective. The second, the design phase aims to design a draft of learning devices so that a prototype of learning tools will be developed. The activities carried out are the preparation of tests, media selection, format selections, and initial design. Third, the development phase aims to produce a revised draft of learning devices based on expert input and data obtained from trials. The instrument used was the expert validation sheets and learning outcomes tests. Expert validation sheets are used to meet the validity criteria. Learning outcomes test instrument is used to meet the effectiveness criteria of learning devices developed. This study was conducted at one of pursued Selituan schools, Deli Serdang. The subjects were students of class 2nd grade senior. The research method used the research and development which aim to develop learning devices. The results of the development can be described as follows. First, the learning device development starts from the defining phase to analyze the needs in the learning process that is carried out. The defining phase is carried out 1. The initial and analysis is used to find out common problems faced in mathematics learning activities. 2. Student analysis to determine student characteristics. 3. Text analysis aims to detail the core computations that will be used. 4. Concept analysis is an analysis of the common concept contained in the matrix material. 5. Specification of learning objectives to be achieved by students during the learning process in accordance with core computations and basic computations used. The next is this design. At the design phase, the prototype of learning is designed after determining the behavioral objectives in learning. It also designed research instruments to measure the quality of the learning devices developed. The final phase in this research is the development phase. The research instrument was validated before being used to measure the developed learning devices. The following is a short plot of development of mathematics learning devices matrix material. First is define and next is design. In the design phase, we generate the learning devices, which are called drive A. Then the drive A validation by expert. Validation research is called draft B. And then we do a field trials and learning outcome. The trials is learning and the next test. And so we can have the final of learning devices matrix material. And last is development. The following table is the results of the validation and revision of the expert. In this table, we can see the learning devices before revision and after revision, learning devices, the lesson plans, teaching materials, sheets of student activity, learning media, and learning outcomes tests. Based on the results of the research analysis, the conclusions are obtained, which are answers to research questions in developing mathematical learning devices using the discovery learning on the matrix material that are valid, practical, and effective as follows. First, the lesson plans is developed using the discovery learning in accordance with the principle of developing and compiling 2013 curriculum process standards. 2. Teaching materials that are developing using the discovery learning in accordance with the principle of developing teaching material, both the aspect of the approach of the content, presentation of the material, language, practice, and threat. 3. Student activity sheets developed is in accordance with the principle of student activity sheets development using the discovery learning. 4. Learning media that is developed in accordance with the principle of developing learning media and meets the minimum requirements of learning media components in accordance with the discovery learning. 5. Learning outcomes tests that are developed in accordance with the principle of learning accept test development. Technical meet the requirements of the switchable of items, material, clarity of instruction for use, clarity of criteria outline for each item, and suitability of the time allocated. 6. The learning devices developed meet the criteria well with an average score of 4.1, the lessons plans, teaching material 3.9, sheets of students activity 3.9, learning media 4.3, and learning outcomes stands 4.2, and student assessment tests show the percentage of completeness by 80%. Thus, the author suggests that the mathematical learning tools using the discovery learning on the matrix material that has been developed is expected to be used in school where the research is conducted and for other researchers to make this research material encouraging similar development to the procedure. Okay guys, thank you for your attention. Bye and goodbye.